Thursday of the fifth week of Lent, April 10, 2025. A first reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verses from 3 to 9. When Abram prostrated himself, God spoke to him, "My covenant with you is this, you are to become the father of a host of nations. No longer shall you be called Abram, your name shall be Abraham, for I am making you the father of a host of nations. I will render you exceedingly fertile, I will make nations of you, kings shall stem from you. I will maintain my covenant with you and your descendants after you throughout the ages as an everlasting pact, to be your God and the God of your descendants after you. I will give to you and to your descendants after you the land in which you are now staying, the whole land of Canaan, as a permanent possession, and I will be their God." God also said to Abraham, "On your part, you and your descendants after you must keep my covenant throughout the ages." Responsorial Psalm 104, The Lord remembers his covenant forever. Look to the Lord in his strength, seek to serve him constantly. Recall the wondrous deeds that he has wrought, his portents, and the judgments he has uttered. The Lord remembers his covenant forever. You descendants of Abraham, his servants, sons of Jacob, his chosen ones. He, the Lord, is our God, throughout the earth his judgments prevail. The Lord remembers his covenant forever. He remembers forever his covenant which he made binding for 1,000 generations, which he entered into with Abraham and by his oath to Isaac. The Lord remembers his covenant forever. A Holy Gospel of Jesus Christ according to St. John, chapter 8, verses from 51 to 59, Jesus said to the Jews, "Amen, amen, I say to you, whoever keeps my word will never see death." So the Jews said to him, "Now we are sure that you are possessed. Abraham died, as did the prophets, yet you say, whoever keeps my word will never taste death. Are you greater than our father Abraham, who died? Or the prophets, who died? Who do you make yourself out to be?" Jesus answered, "If I glorify myself, my glory is worth nothing, but it is my Father who glorifies me, of whom you say, he is our God. You do not know him, but I know him. And if I should say that I do not know him, I would be like you a liar. But I do know him and I keep his word. Abraham your father rejoiced to see my day, he saw it and was glad." So the Jews said to him, "You are not yet 50 years old and you have seen Abraham?" Jesus said to them, "Amen, amen, I say to you, before Abraham came to be, I am." So they picked up stones to throw at him, but Jesus hid and went out of the temple area. Gospel Reflection, Thursday of the fifth week of Lent, April 10, 2025. Welcome, dear friends and subscribers. What if the person speaking in today's Gospel wasn't just a wise teacher or holy prophet, but the very voice that called Abraham under the stars and named him Father of Nations? Could it be that the carpenter's son, standing among furious temple leaders, was the same one who thundered from Sinai and whispered promise into the trembling heart of an old man called Abram? Today's story is not just ancient. It is eternal. And if you listen closely, it just might change the way you see Jesus, forever. Stay with us to the very end for a powerful spiritual revelation, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more gospel reflections that stir the soul and awaken the spirit. Gospel Reflection, Amen, amen, I say to you, before Abraham came to be, I am. John 8 verse 58. Today's gospel leaves no room for soft theology. Jesus doesn't just claim to speak for God, he claims to be God. His declaration, before Abraham came to be, I am, echoes the sacred name revealed to Moses in the burning bush, Ex 3:14. The Jews who hear this are not confused, they are scandalized, enraged, ready to stone him. Why? Because he has identified himself with the eternal, self-existent one, the I Am. This is a Lenten moment of cosmic magnitude. The humble man standing in the temple is the eternal Word through whom all things were made. And he stands not with pride, but with the humility that would soon carry him to the cross. But why evoke Abraham in this fiery discourse? Because Abraham was the man of the covenant, the friend of God, the one who hoped against hope. In the first reading from Genesis, God promises Abram a new name, a new identity, Abraham, Father of nations. And today, Jesus, the fulfillment of that very covenant, speaks as its author. Jesus is not just Abraham's descendant, he is Abraham's joy. Abraham rejoiced to see my day, he saw it and was glad. John 8 verse 56, this Lenten journey reminds us that salvation is not about merit, nor lineage, nor power. It is about encountering the I Am who steps into history and into hearts. The Church Fathers saw this passage as a blazing furnace of divine truth. Saint Irenaeus wrote, "He who was the Son of God became the Son of Man, so that man might become a son of God." Saint Augustine meditates that the great tragedy of sin is not just doing evil, but failing to recognize the truth standing in front of us. That's what happened in the temple, and it still happens today. A Lenten wake-up call for our time. This gospel confronts us, not with a tame, comforting Jesus, but with the eternal Christ who claims the authority of God himself. And in our time, of spiritual relativism, identity confusion, and rising persecution, he still asks, do you know me? Do you truly believe that I am? Too often we fashion our own gods, comfort, success, self-image, and like the crowds in the temple, we resist the disruptive, liberating truth of Jesus' identity. But Lent is the season to reclaim the covenant, not just a contract, but a relationship rooted in divine fidelity. A prayer, to know the I Am. Eternal Lord, the great I Am, you who were before Abraham and remain forever, strip away our illusions, our false gods, our pride. Help us to recognize your presence not only in glory, but in the silence, the suffering, and the cross. Teach us to rejoice like Abraham, to kneel like Moses, and to believe like Mary. May we never throw stones at truth, but instead, build altars of surrender. Today, O Jesus, we confess you, before time, beyond time, and in our time, you are I Am. Amen. Final encouragement. Are you searching for meaning, freedom, or healing this Lent? The answer is not an idea. It's not a principle. It's a person. And today he says to you, before Abraham was, I am. If your heart is burning even just a little, don't walk away. Stay. Subscribe. Share this. Comment your thoughts. Because what we've begun today is not just a reflection, it's a revolution of the soul. And remember, he who calls you is faithful, and he will do it. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 24. Join us tomorrow for another powerful Lenten reflection. Until then, stay rooted in the Word, radiant with hope, and always ready to encounter the living Christ.